you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. This is fun. This is a great way to like stay connected during this time.
I know. And I've just been reading everything you've been posting about nutrition and stuff. So I was like, I should have her
Oh
share with
gosh, thank you.
Well, first, you want to share about Pantry Fuel. So this is Jennifer, the owner or co-owner. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm the owner. Yeah, I started it
Pantry Fuel.
I started Pantry Fuel in 2015, and it really starts with my tutu. So if you read our story on our website, it tells a little bit about that. But my tutu, it means grandmother in Hawaii, where my dad's side of the family grew up. And I'm going to be kind of reading from my notes because this is just always helpful for me in interviews. So I want to make sure I get the full story because it's worth listening to and sharing. And so my tutu, who grew up in Hawaii, she was kind of a spirited little thing, but she did not like cooking. And so going out to eat was something that she really always looked forward to. And with my two other brothers, she always made sure that we had to try something new every single time we went out. And so, like it or not, she wouldn't put up with fussy eaters. And I think that's right now why I just love about everything. I hope in the future, my future kids will like everything, because I've talked to so many parents, and picky eaters are really hard. I don't know if you have kids, but
Yes.
it
Yeah.
makes it really hard. So when my tutu turned 76, she was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. And during this time, my dad and I specifically were in charge of her care. And so we were taxing her to doctor's appointments, helping her get groceries, meals. And then by the end of the day, we realized, kind of how tired we were. I wasn't much of a cook back then. This was 12 years ago when she got diagnosed. I think it was, yeah, about 12 years ago. And so I wasn't much of a cook. I was still so young and just trying to help my dad with all of this. And
Oh my
so
God.
it was an eye-opener. If you've ever been a caretaker for a loved one, at the end of the day, you are just hoping that they're feeling okay, and you've
Right.
checked all the boxes. They've been to all the doctor's appointments. They're taking their medications. So from there, we were relying a lot on freezer meals and shakes. She always had like these kind of low nutrient freezer meals and shakes in her fridge that were easy for her, easy for us, something, we didn't have to add to our to-do list.
Right.
And so not a lot of whole foods. So when my tutu passed 5 months after her diagnosis, I thought our community really needs healthy, convenient resource for meals that also taste good.
Right.
And so that's kind of where Pantry Fuel was born. There wasn't a lot of there weren't a lot of about specifics, and that's kind of it serves a population that is typically low income, and it's pretty nutrient poor food. So a lot of canned foods, a lot of processed prepared foods. And so I wanted to provide a service for a community that was based on whole foods and based on getting you the nutrients you need to support that health, whether you are in a cancer diagnosis or surgery or just wanting to support your overall well-being. And so just to kind of rewind back to 2013, when I received a nutrition certification, I was working with clients one-on-one to create nutrition plans. And this experience gives Pantry Fuel a really unique edge. Where when we create, our chef Jacqueline and I, we work really closely together to marry the nutritional value with the expertise of my nutrition background and her culinary expertise. And so we work, yeah, and so it's kind of unique in that we, our food tastes good. We use a lot of different classic, American type meals, and then we put our healthy spin on them.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And so my husband, he works up at Sacred Heart in the hospital, and he works in the nutrition department. And so we've partnered with a lot of different dietitians in town, and we are dietitian approved, where that simply means we are providing meals for those who are needing more essential nutrients in their diet. I mean, really, that's all of us.
Right.
Our Western our Western diet is just so low nutrient dense. And so to be able to put, we're dietitian approved, dietitians order from us every single week. They refer us to their patients in that clinical setting at the hospital, which is fantastic for us, fantastic for them. Because, when you don't feel good, or, we really do serve mostly busy professionals like you and I.
Okay.
Who just aren't cooking every single night. It's really not doable when you're working. Yeah, that's kind of improved. We work with dietitians closely to look at our meals and tell us, hey, where can we improve? But then our head chef really has a lot of expertise in that she's a professional culinary chef who went to school as well. So.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I love that story.
Thank you so much.
For people to understand how important is the nutrition, of course, that we're putting in our bodies, and especially now, like I had messaged you, the nutrition that we're eating to support our immune systems and stuff with everything going on.
Yeah, more than any time, should we be putting whole foods in our bodies right now? I mean, if you have if you're at risk for, have a poor immune system, whether you are diagnosed with a pre-exposed disease such as diabetes or heart failure, heart disease,
right,
high cholesterol, anything like that, whole foods, any dietitian would tell you is the best way to get your nutrients. And so Pantry Fuel was literally named after what food does for our bodies, and it fuels us. And as I've learned from my own nutrition education and dietitians we work with, real whole food diets, like those we cater our meals to, support our well-being and provide essential macro and micronutrients. And essential meaning you actually have to get those nutrients from food. And so think, any sort of vitamin, minerals, a micro essential nutrient, and then a macro would be carbs, fats, protein, and water. Those are the 4 macronutrients. And so it's easy not to eat well if you don't understand how much better you can feel when you do.
Right.
So as soon as you start replacing processed foods with whole foods, you really notice the difference. Just last week, I had a bacon burger, and I had it from one of my favorite restaurants, Twigs. Have you eaten at Twigs before?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just love Twigs, but I had like this big old like bacon burger and fries, and I'm not a big like burger person. Like I'll maybe have one, I don't know, once a month or something like that, but I was just craving it. And so I had this amazing burger, but for like 2 days, I just felt bloated and heavy and brain fog and just like lethargic. And I don't typically eat that way. And so when I felt like this, I couldn't show up to my work 100%. I couldn't serve my clients like I needed to, our customers I needed to, my team. My energy was low. I couldn't finish my to-do list. I just wrote a blog the other day about this, and I couldn't even like come up with what to write, and just that brain fog, and working out was like out of the question. So it took me like 2 days to recover from eating processed kind of a poor, not that the hamburger necessarily was a poor diet food, but there were no vegetables in that meal at all except French fries.
Right.
And it was really, really high in fat.
When you're not used
we're
to
not
it.
to diminish. And so our life just kind of passes by. We don't realize the potential that we're missing out on. And all you have to change is what's on the end of your fork. Or not.
Right. Oh, I agree. Because I'm kind of the same way. When I eat something that I'm not used to, or fast food or something, it never goes over well. It sounds good in the moment, but then
And that's something that I love about Pantry Fuel. So I actually order my own meals every single week for my husband
Oh
and
my
I.
gosh. Oh, cool.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's testament to how helpful Pantry Fuel is for us. I love to cook. I cook probably 4 nights out of the week. But there are so many days where I get to a point in my day, and I'm sure you felt this, where like you're so hungry and it doesn't matter at that point what is good for you or not. You're just going to put it in your mouth.
Yes. Yes.
So,
I think
like to
everyone has
have,
been there. Yeah.
I know, yeah, and it's so easy to do. And so when you have a Pantry Fuel meal in the fridge, and literally you heat it up for 2 minutes and you start eating it, you're like, okay, my hunger like got, went away really fast because I had this
Right.
great meal, but then also I'm not feeling like crap, 2 hours later, two
Yeah.
days later for me.
Oh my gosh. And so how do people get started if they want to look into your program or start ordering it? What does that look like?
Yeah, that's a great question, actually. Super easy. It's all online, just pantryfuel.com. And we offer 2 different ways to order. So there is an a la carte option where we have 5 new meals every week. Usually, I mean, it's probably 50-50. People are using them for lunches and dinners. I would say more people use them for lunches right now, probably for dinners, being that we're at home more.
Yeah.
But you can order through the a la carte option and pick and choose what you want. We also do offer some healthy like alternative treats that are really good. We have this amazing Harvest granola bar that is full of like nuts and seeds and white chocolate and honey and
Oh,
so good.
yum.
And then the other
Sounds delicious.
option, it's so good. Yeah, I'll have to share some with you once we can start like seeing each other.
I know. I know.
Oh, so crazy. So, and then the other option is a meal plan. So you can get all 5 of those meals at a discounted rate versus you picking and choosing which of those 5 meals and how many of those 5 meals you want, which is that a la carte option.
And so lots of people have different dietary, I know you said dietary needs. So so I usually try to avoid dairy because like you were saying, if I have dairy, it fully makes me feel just gross for the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if people are gluten-free or dairy-free, are there ways that they can cater to that too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good question too. Yeah, so most every meal we can make into dairy free. Every meal is gluten free. I'll start with that. So
Oh, okay.
we are not a gluten free kitchen because we do serve another menu to our seniors on site in our kitchen, but we don't say that we can serve those with celiac disease because
Oh, gotcha.
our kitchen can come in contact with gluten. But all of our menus for Pantry Fuel are gluten free. We do offer most meals at a vegetarian option, extra protein option, which is an extra ounce of protein at 5 ounces. And then dairy free was an obvious because I'm dairy free too.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you can do a combination of vegetarian and dairy free, for example.
Oh, very good. And
Yeah,
what about, are there certain foods right now you would recommend that people start incorporating to their diet that are good, like immune boosting foods? Start
yeah,
thinking?
that I thought was a fantastic question right now because it's something that like the last few weeks I've even just brushed up on my own nutrition and Googled, okay, foods high in zinc, for example. So
Okay.
zinc is something you want to take when your immune system might be at risk. And so
Oh,
zinc,
okay. That's good to
yeah,
know.
so zinc, I mean, obviously getting that nutrition from Whole Foods versus a package or a vitamin is going to be more beneficial for you because your body can absorb it. I like to talk about vitamin C, or I'll talk about an orange, for example. So an orange has, the first thing you think about in an orange is what? Vitamin C, right?
Yeah,
And
totally.
so besides vitamin C, there's a ton of other nutrients in it. There's calcium, there's vitamin D, so on and so forth, potassium, magnesium. And so all those nutrients in that orange are going to work together synergistically for you to absorb more easily. And so when you can absorb those nutrients more easily, you're also going to be able to use them better in the way your body needs to function. And so there's always, versus having a single nutrient vitamin, there's always more benefits in getting a multi-nutrient vitamin that is from a whole food. So you can
Good to
take a
know. Yeah.
multivitamin. Yeah. But you can take a multivitamin. I mean, that's all insurance. That's all great right now. We should be. Even someone who eats really well should be taking a multivitamin. There's certain things that we're just not going to get enough of in our diet. However, those multivitamins are still processed. Usually, a single nutrient is put into that, usually a whole food eventually, but really they're not, they're all single derived versus coming from a whole food.
Okay.
So long story short, you really need to get it from whole foods, but zinc is a great one. So foods high in zinc are going to be, it'll help shorten the duration of colds, for example, but like shellfish, oysters, legumes, beans, eggs, nuts, and seeds, those are really all high in zinc and something you would want to focus on during this time.
Okay.
You'd also want to focus on foods high in vitamin C. So oranges, grapefruits, bell peppers, strawberries. And then I also like to focus on foods that we know we should be eating. 2 to 4 cups a day of greens, berries. Blueberries are great. I saw on Fred Meyer last week that all the blueberries had sold out. And yeah, it was just one of the odd things. And I started thinking, well, people think blueberries, are so great. They are really great. But you can also get them, you don't have to get them fresh. You can get them frozen. Frozen berries are really great because usually they're flash frozen, which means that they're frozen at peak season. You'll save more money getting frozen, but it actually will be higher in nutrients than the fresh typically. Just to know for your budget as well.
Oh, good to know. So frozen can have higher nutrients then.
Yes, definitely. Definitely if you're focusing on fruits. Vegetables, it's not always the case, but fruits for sure. And all these foods, foods high in zinc, vitamin C, you can Google, lists and so many will pop up. And then I would just add those to your grocery list every week. That's kind of what I do when I'm trying to, think about what I should be eating. That's the easiest way. And then you can boost your immune system during this time. And hopefully, even if you come in contact with someone who has coronavirus, your symptoms won't be as bad.
Oh, that's awesome. Good to know. Cool. And so people can go to your Instagram. That's where I think we connected. And your website would be on there, right?
Yep. You can just go to our profile in our Instagram bio or whatever, and then it'll have all our website information or just pantryfuel.com. And
blogs too, right? Where they can.
What was that?
I think I saw your blogs are on there too to learn other information. Cool.
Yes. So our blogs are listed on there as well. I've been trying every couple of weeks to get a new blog out. So I'm always just trying to focus on something that's current and in the news. And try and debunk. I like to debunk a lot of health news. So if you're interested in kind of the myths of nutrition, I like to talk about that a lot as well in our blogs.
Oh, very cool. Yay.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got to join me so we can learn about it.
Thank you. So much fun. And I do have an offer for your listeners.
Yes.
Yeah. So right now it's definitely a hard time for many who are stuck at home and maybe just aren't wanting to cook all the time. And so like you and I mean, that is our main clientele. We have been serving a lot more grandparents and parents where people are ordering from Seattle and getting the food to their parents here in Spokane or new moms. So I want to offer your listeners 25% off their first order with us. And the code is just Fuel Your Passion, all lowercase, all one word.
Okay. I'll add that to the post too.
Sweet. Yeah, I just want to make sure that they have a chance to try us out right now. This offer will not expire. So if they keep listening to this episode, which hopefully we can both, introduce to our audiences, then they can continue to get that discount. So
yay!
Thank you.
I want to try it too. Yeah.
Yes. I'll email you your own unique discount code. How about?
Very cool. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. And